this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. It's a presentation of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber's Greater Good Awards, presented, of course, by Valley Health Systems. You ready? Yes, we are. All right. So what is the purpose? The purpose of the Greater Good Awards is to celebrate outstanding individuals and businesses for the contributions they make to the quality of life and economic stability of our region through genuine community commitment, dedication to excellence, and ethical and creative business practices. So at this time, before we get started to the awards, are you guys ready for our special tribute?
Oh my God. Hey.
You don't have to, is he on? I think we're on. Hey.
Are we on? Yes. Are you kidding me?
No, I don't know how much of it we got. I think you're beginning to lose your grip on reality. I'm just going to make this video so you can give it to your therapist one day. Here was a moment when we had a break from reality. So thank you for asking, because most people think that, when you're doing a morning show for a respected radio station, that, you're sitting around a table and you're just telling each other jokes and you're laughing a lot and drinking your coffee and telling the time, and there really just isn't a lot of work that goes into it. But I want you to know, you'd be surprised at how much hard work and thought goes into everything we say on the air and everything we do. We're working pretty much around the clock. So much thought and effort and energy goes into what we do on the air. We're working so hard to make sure that everything is just right. In fact, you don't get one of these. Not one of these babies from just sitting around and playing all day and learning how to bet on the horses or anything like that. You just, what are you doing?
Every year I get a new hat for Apple Blossom. And last year, during the parade, my hat, actually right before the parade started, my hat blew off and we could not find it. We looked and looked and we couldn't find it. So one of our listeners made me a new hat to wear this year, and I can't wait to wear it. I've been keeping it in the office in a hat box and nice and pristine. I haven't even put it on because I want it to be just perfect for Apple Blossom.
So to be certain, this is for your birthday
that's the bag I just
Christmas.
gave you.
There are a lot of bags like this
No, there aren't.
with penguins. The beauty is you get to keep it and use it again.
Specific. Oh, is this it?
It is.
Oh my, lady,
Lady.
said it was.
You're a lady now.
I am.
It'll fit right over here, she says.
Okay. Do I have to unplug it?
I don't know, this is your problem now.
Stop?
What?
Will it stop when it's full?
I'm anxious to find out. It looks like it did.
Oh, it's in there tight.
Well, I'm glad this wasn't my idea. What?
You want to see what happens if I unplug it?
Sure, go wild.
It deflates. Honey, we can't leave that going the whole time. I want them bad.
How many cat feeds do you
They're trying
have?
to jump. Like 5. Turn that phone off.
Great Scott, we made it, Rosie! October 21st, 2015!
Wow, Doc, we're in the future! What are you doing with that phony wig on?
Just stick to the script.
Oh, okay.
Stick to the script.
Why did you bring me here, Doc? To show me what my future's like? Am I famous?
Kind of, yeah.
Well, am I rich? Because I'm a simple bank teller back in 1985. Am I president of a bank in 2015?
No. A person must not know that much about their future, Rosie.
Oh, no. What if I become in 2015? How bad could it be? It's not like I'm doing morning radio. No!
If it's any consolation, you work with a very, very handsome man every morning, looking right across at him for hours and hours on end.
I think that wig's too tight. It's clearly cut off the blood to your brain.
Get to the script.
Um,
Sorry.
But Doc, you said you brought me here because of my kids.
Oh.
What have they become?
Oh,
Are
Rosie.
they in morning radio too?
No, they're not at morning radio. It's worse than that. Rosie, he's a musician.
No, not my baby.
But it could be worse. He could be a musician who's involved with one of the Kardashians. You see, here in 2015, if you've got a really large... Oh no! What's wrong, young lady?
I can't afford gas and forget vacation.
Oh, wait, well, maybe I can help. And you could win $1,000!
Vacation, here I come. I can take a world cruise.
Well, let's tap the brakes on a world cruise. It's only $1,000, but you could fill it up.
Yay!
Our 9K inflation vacation. Hey there, it's Chris and Rosie. Way back in the year 2000, we took this picture. And look, even back then, she was hitting me with a shoe. Can you see it? That could be it because...
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're still drinking out of the coconut, really?
I bought them. So yes, I'm still drinking out of the coconut. Now there are some things about owning a horse maybe you didn't know, and Rosie's here with some tips for us.
Absolutely. The first thing you need to do is get a big hat. That's the most important thing. Now you can decorate it like you want to. I wanted to decorate mine with horses because it's a horse race, but I couldn't find any horses, so I decorated it with cats.
Yeah, you've got a knack at finding cats. How many cats do you own?
A few.
7. You own 7 cats.
No. So anyway, get a nice hat. You don't have to worry so much about jewelry because you want your hat to be the focus. Then also you need a big bag. A nice big bag to carry everything
That's
with
got a
you.
cat on it too.
It might. And so you need that for your sunglasses and such. And so you got your big hat. You're ready for the day.
For this
All right.
year's festival.
If I can drag you away. Here.
Oh my gosh, where did you get that?
Brad found it, and he was...
I have never seen this in any book, anywhere.
It's the tackiest thing ever. But
no, it's not.
he's like, please take a video so I can see it.
I love this. Thank you, Brad.
You all are so cool, almost as cool as Chris in high school.
Almost.
Yeah.
Did we bring any blankets or anything? Did we bring any sheets
I said,
or
please
anything to
stop
cover the
taking
table?
It's a video.
It's a video, even better.
What happened?
Missed Dancing with the Stars last night.
And how bad is that?
That's awful.
So it's fun to just kind of chat after the show. We're so busy, and the show that we do on the air is so much fun. It's kind of crazy that every now and then it's kind of fun to just kind of unwind for a minute. And frankly, what time is it?
No.
We're missing a meeting with Monkey Boy, our boss, which is fine. So let's talk some. I'd rather talk with you guys than be in a meeting with Monkey Boy.
We'll be getting a message
Uh-huh.
here soon.
I just want to thank everyone. Thank you all so much for all the prayers, all the thoughts, all the messages that you've sent me. You have no idea how much it's really, really meant to me. I really, really appreciate it. Because of all this, I'm not going to be able to come back to the Chris and Rosie show, which breaks my heart. I love talking to you all this every morning, and I just starting my morning with you, and I will miss that terribly. But I want you to know how much you've meant to me over all these years, because you really have. Chris always says we have the best listeners, but y'all aren't listeners to me. Y'all are family, and you've meant so much to me, and I just can't tell you enough. And thank you enough for everything.
It's hard to believe that that's coming to an end.
I know. It makes me sad.
We love you so much.
It makes me blessed too, and I know that. And I do. I feel the love, and I thank you so much for everything.
Wait a minute. How do you stop it?
Oh, you better find out how to
I don't know. This is why we need a producer.
Joining us, Chris, Rosie's son Tim, No, we agree. Rosie had an indomitable spirit. And 22 years ago, Chuck Peterson heard it in her voice, and we've gotten to hear it every year since. Thanks, Chuck, for bringing Rosie to us. You know, on occasion, Rosie presented the Chamber's Valor Awards. They were to our community's bravest men and women. But in her last days, she showed us what it meant to be brave. And she showed us how to do it with humor and love and kindness and her joyous laugh. And so we'd like to present on behalf of the Chamber this little token of our appreciation. It is a golden rose representing her golden heart and her rosy spirit.
I too shall use the stand. This is her son, Tim. You can't tell, they don't look alike. I've known Tim since he was 15. That's when I started here all those years ago. Your mother was my best friend. And it's so bittersweet seeing her up there again. I know it was the same for you. I look out in this audience tonight and I see so many friends. Barry, I cannot tell you what it meant for you to make that incredibly thoughtful sentiment that you did, that we played on Rosie's last day. And we knew that she was going to be leaving us, and she was okay with that because she had incredible faith. And it was that got her through it, and I think, frankly, got us through it. You know how, oh, by the way, you know how on the Oscars where you get a bunch of people up there and they've got like 30 seconds to talk and one guy does all the talking? That's going to be me. Tim told me to, though. It's okay. If you want to say anything, you just let me know. Tap me on the shoulder. So Rosie was an incredible person, an amazing human. If you got to know her for even 5 minutes, you knew who she was. She was a person who walked the walk in her faith. She really did. And she made you feel like you were the most important person in the world because at that moment you were. She loved people. She loved to know people. And she was so proud of our community. I look here tonight and, you know, after 23 years, you get to know some people. And I know so many of you. I am so proud, as she was, of this chamber. I know that sounds silly. She was proud of the chamber. She was. We talked about it not long before her last day on the air, how amazingly lucky we were to have so many people invested in our community, really caring about it, really wanting it to be a good place. I'll tell you something that's an aside very quickly. I had a job lined up in Denver in 2000, and I came here instead because I was talking to a guy who owned, it was the Daily Grind, now it's a Jamaican coffee shop, long time since, right? But at the very end of his closing of his day, he sat down and talked with me. We were just talking about it at the table. And he told me about this community and how much it cared about itself. He said, you can go to that big city, but you're not going to find a group of people who care more about where they are, more about the people that live there, and really are more invested than the people of the valley. And he was right. And that was a very, very large part of why I came here. But back to Rosie. She was from here, and she loved it here. And every day she lived a life where she loved all the people that she met. She loved all of the businesses that we went to. She was your friend. So many of you knew her on a personal basis. And I'll just say this, she lived an incredible life. It was a life well lived. And the legacy is how many people loved her back. And I really believe she just brought so much joy and so much love into the world. And if you go out and you put that into the world, it comes back. It multiplies and it comes back. And you all have done that. And you're here and you volunteered and you've put yourself out there. It would mean so much to her to have been here tonight. And in many ways, she is. So thank you all, our good friends, who mean so much to her and still mean so much to me and to Tim. Tim, did you want to say anything? I didn't think so. God bless you, and thank you for thinking of Rosie. Thank you so much. We loved you so much.
I don't really know what to say at this point. I don't know how to follow that up. Beautiful tribute. But we do have to move on. We do have to move forward, and we are going to honor the best of the best in our business community here. This is no exception. That's what we're doing right now. I'm honored to play a part in recognizing several very special businesses and individuals that epitomize character, leadership, and community involvement. Now, sorry about it. But the awards were chosen by an impartial committee. This is made up of past board chairs based on the criteria that we'll indicate. So I'd like to thank the following: John Fox, Scott Harvard, Bill North, Mitch Moore, Sharon Fahrenhold, and Tim Stowe. They served on this year's selection committee. Thank you guys so much. If you're here, please stand. What's that? They're fine. They don't need to stand. We see you. So it's not an enviable position to be in. It's not an easy task. Every nominee is deserving. All the award recipients exemplify the qualities of creativity, innovation, hard work, risk, professionalism, and commitment. So we will share each winner's story in the April edition of Chamber News, the Voice for Business and Industry newsletter, printed in the Winchester Star on Wednesday, April 12th, and of course digitally by email. So winners, when your name's announced, you're gonna please join us up here at the podium. You're gonna receive your award, and you will have to say a few words of acceptance. So we'll also do official photos at the stage over here at the end of the award ceremony. So we're ready to start. It's our first award of the evening. It is the 2022 Entrepreneur of the Year. So this award, created in 2012 to recognize an individual business person who's conceived and created a thriving business, who's been in existence for at least 3 years. The individual has made an investment in starting a business and taken a risk to make it successful. So to introduce this year's nominees, the winner for the Entrepreneur of the Year last year, please welcome last year's winner, Katrina Smith of Remax Synergy.
Okay, I don't know how you follow that. The room was teared up. Okay, great. We're going to pretend that we know what we're doing. I am delighted to be here tonight to introduce and present the Entrepreneur of the Year Award for the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber. As last year's recipient of this prestigious award, I can tell you firsthand the impact that it has had on me and my business. When I first heard that I was being recognized for my community involvement, ethics, and my leadership, I was overwhelmed with pride. To be recognized for my hard work and dedication to my community was an honor in itself. But to receive this award from such a reputable organization as the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber was truly a highlight in my career. Over the past year, I've had the pleasure of working alongside some of the most inspiring entrepreneurs in our community. Through networking events and collaboration, I have been able to share my experiences and learn from others, which has been invaluable to my growth as a business owner. Moreover, this award has given me a renewed sense of purpose and drive. It has encouraged me to push myself further and to think outside the box and always strive for excellence in all that I do. As I pass the torch to this year's recipient, I'd like to congratulate them on their achievement and encourage them to continue making a positive impact in our community. Your hard work and your dedication do not go unnoticed. I have no doubt that you will continue to inspire others with your leadership and your creativity. In closing, I'd like to thank the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber for recognizing the important work that entrepreneurs do in our community every day. Your support and recognition do mean the world to us, and we will continue to work hard to make our community a better place for all. So may I have the envelope? I love that. May I have the envelope, please? Oh, before I read that, see, this is why we have an MC, ladies and gentlemen. She keeps us on task. All right. Would the nominees please stand as I call your name? The nominees for the 2022 Entrepreneur of the Year are Mr. Ben Savory with Summit Events, Mr. Darren Jones with Jones Funeral Home, and Mr. Stephen Sherman with Winchester Cider Works. Where are you? All right, drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Congratulations to the 2022 Entrepreneur of the Year, Mr. Darren Jones with Jones Funeral Home.
All right.
Turn you right there.
This way.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
the producer here.
Thank you.
Stand right
Thank
here,
you. Thank you
please.
very much. Bring it back over there. There we go. That's how it's done.
Well, those of you who know me, you know that although I like to talk a lot, I'm not really big on public speaking, but here it goes. It's a real honor for me to accept this award tonight, especially really on behalf of my whole family and all of our employees at the funeral home. It's especially recognizing my grandfather and my dad, who taught me by example to serve our community and to give to the greater good. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm just overwhelmed. Let me see here. Shoot. Oh, I tell my employees every day, I said, you are Jones Funeral Home, and we are only as good as you guys. And I want to thank my employees, both current and past, for all you've done to make us who we are today. And I hope that you guys are as proud of yourselves tonight as I am proud of each and every one of you guys, because it's you who basically are the reason that I'm up here. But thank you very much.
All right. Our second award this evening is the Small Business of the Year. So to qualify for Small Business of the Year, what do you need to do? You have to have fewer than 50 employees, been in business in the top of Virginia region for at least 3 years, and meet the same criteria of growth, economic impact, creativity, leadership, community involvement, and ethics as all of the awards. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome last year's winner, Small Business of the Year, Schaefer's Barbecue and Market, Matt Schaefer.
Well, I'll tell you what this award meant to my wife. Is that I had to clean up again this year. I had to shave my beard off, which was just getting to the right length, put on a suit, and take her out for a proper evening. So on a personal level, this award has meant any number of things to us. But the most important thing that it's meant to our business is that we are mentioned in the same voice, in the same sentence, in the same conversation as the folks in this room. And I don't know if anybody, I doubt anybody remembers what I said last year, but what I said last year is what we do matters. And I still believe that. And I look out across here, and I've talked to any number of people that own small businesses or or relatively large businesses in this area. And I just appreciate the opportunity to be part of this community, and I appreciate the recognition that you guys gave to me and to our family, and to our business and our team. So thank you. And pass the torch on to the next winner. All right. The nominees are Great Barbecue at Bonnie Blue's Southern Market and Bakery, Jones Funeral Home, Tech Team Solutions, and Winchester Cider Works. All right, here we go. And the winner is Bonnie Blue's Southern Market and Bakery. Barbecue rules!
Good evening, everybody. That is a step. Probably not, but Darren wrote my acceptance speech, so it's going to be about as smooth. I wanted to thank the chamber, the local community, and most importantly, the people that we work with every single day. It is truly as a family. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you very much.
Okay, the MC from last year, sorry I got you fired for this year, Mike Odell, and he's going to join us to announce the nominees for Large Business of the Year.
Yeah, Lisa, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Although, thank you for not making me wear this penguin suit for nothing. I guess last year's Large Business of the Year could not be here tonight, so they said, who can we get to give this award out? Let's find a large guy. So, lucky me. Here I am. The Large Business of the Year award has been presented by the Topper Virginia Chamber of Commerce on an annual basis since back in 1980. It's presented to the business with 50 or more employees and meets the same criteria of growth, economic impact, creativity, leadership, community involvement, and ethics as all the other awards. For the nominees, please stand as I call your name. The nominees for our Large Business of the Year are the Bank of Clark, Bank of Clark, H.N. Funkhauser and Company, and Tri-State Nissan. Thank you. And our 2022 Large Business of the Year award goes to Tri-State Nissan.
Boy, this is incredibly humbling. With all the people in here, with just the pillars of community that I'm around, I'm still kind of taking it in. For those of you who don't know, we did something different this year, something that we hadn't done. And Tri-State Nissan, which is part of the Marlowe Automotive Group, we celebrated our 75th year by doing 75 acts of kindness. And when I say acts of kindness, these were big projects. We landscaped, we painted, we did big things. And I will tell you, this is a pretty reputable bunch here, and I feel like I can trust you guys, and you guys can keep a secret. So I'm gonna tell you something. I was really scared before we did this. I was scared because I was afraid we couldn't pull it off. I was scared because I was afraid that because we're a car dealership, people wouldn't take us seriously when I said we were going to do acts of kindness. And I said we're close. You guys can laugh. That's perfectly acceptable. I mean, we weren't sure if people would take us seriously. But the biggest thing I was afraid of
was we were in a time where we didn't have cars. We were in an uncertain economic condition, and I was worried that I wasn't leading my team well and asking them to paint houses and landscape and feed people when we didn't have cars for our own people to sell. And I was worried that I wouldn't be doing what was right for my team. And so when I sent out the email saying we were going to do this, it was one of those days where you press click, you close your computer, you leave, and you just wait and you see. And the people who responded were some of the people here in this room. And there were businesses who said, yes, we will participate. And there were nonprofits that said, yes, not only can we use your help, but let me introduce you to this other person here who can help you too. So the people in this room were the first to come to us and say, yeah, I think you're doing something special. And then my team, I've got a couple, they're the loud, rowdy bunch over there. You don't know what, you want to lead them well, you don't know what they're going to think. And I will tell you, they stepped up and they came to me with ideas and they said, look, Emily, I care about this. I'm passionate about this. I want to do this. And I said, yes, we can do it. Yes, we can do it. Yes, we can do it. And in a time which was very tumultuous, they dug down and they made something special happen. I have to say kudos to Brian Nieves, who was like the air traffic controller, who made all of this happen. And for us, what you guys meant to us during this time was just reinforcement that there is a place for kindness. There is a place for servanthood. There is a place for humility. There's a place for all those things in all businesses, especially the car business. Why not the car business too? But in all businesses. And you guys reinforced that values in our team, and it just solidified that, yeah, we're doing something right. And, my dad used to always tell me, when you live in the community where you do business, you're going to see your customers again. You're going to see, and I'm going to see you guys again. I see you at the grocery store. I see you at church. I see you at my kids' play at Daniel Morgan. I see you at, walking down my street. Some of you pull up your cars when I'm playing ball with my kids in the front yard. Some of you even bring them ice cream. But we will see you all again. And when it happens, we want everyone to feel really good about the community that we're building together. So thank you so much for this and just for everything that you guys do. You guys are wonderful. So thank you.
We have a brand new award for this year. So please welcome this year's upcoming Valor MC, Jay Foreman.
That's actually going to be my Christmas card this year, so thank you. Thank you. Such a great relationship. I feel so used. You kick me out, then you invite me back up. It's what we do. But thank you, everyone. It's my pleasure to be up here and introduce a new award this year, the Teacher of the Year. Do I just hit the button here and move it forward? It's that easy. All right. New this year, the 2022 Career and Technical Educator of the Year. The CTE Educator of the Year Award is new to the Chamber's lineup of Holly Awards. This award will go to an educator who has taught for at least 3 years in Winchester, Frederick County, or Clark County, and continues to shape the business minds of our next generation through community involvement, ethics, character, leadership, and creativity. And thank you to the Chamber for adding this. Especially in the world we live in today, teachers, it is one of the most thankless yet noble jobs out there. So thank you to all the teachers out there. Yes, give it up for the teachers. So nominees, you know the drill by now. Please stand up when I call your name. The nominees for the CTE Educator of the Year Award are Shane Coleman from Clark County Public Schools, Heather Powers, James Wood High School, Jimmy Stewart, Frederick County Public Schools, and Sharice Woodward, Sharando High School. All right. The envelope, please. And this year's winner, first ever winner of this prestigious award, please give it up for Shane Coleman.
I'm used to talking in front of teenagers, so excuse me, adults scare me. So, yeah, uh, yeah. So, thank you for this. I can't take all the credit. I have a great team that's behind me at Clark County. I work with some great CTE teachers. So I appreciate this. I appreciate the chamber for the award. I am very short and brief and to the point. So thank you again. And if you ever need anything from Clark County Public Schools, please reach out. So thank you.
I'm going to go off script for a moment. So 50-50 tonight is the proceeds are going to continue to build the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber Foundation's Educational Scholarship Fund. And this just really evolved this year, and we want to really build this, so we're asking all the business community to get behind this. It started with one of our high school's DECA clubs coming to us and asking if they could come to one of our mixers and get to know some businesses. They need sponsorship. I've lost count, but I know there's at least 18, I think, from one of the schools going to an international competition for DECA. And we have, I think it's 7 or 8 different organizations within the schools that are helping develop our students in business skills. And so when they came to us about that, we thought, this is something we really need to get behind. We need to get the business community behind these students. They have to earn all of their own money, and I think it's over $1,400 per student to go to this international competition this spring. And so we want to try to help support them, help make sure that these students are able to go and develop their skills. So if you haven't bought your 50-50 tickets, please get in there. Let's get this foundation filled up.
Where can we do that?
So Danita is in the back of the room. She's ready for you.
All right.
I think we're up to, what are we up to, about $800 in the pot right now. Our goal was get it up to $2,000 so that we'd have at least $1,000 to refill. We did, actually, thanks to the executive committee of the chamber, we did have $500 that we had collected pre-pandemic that is going to one of the high schools to help support them this year, but it's not enough. We need to do more, so.
All right,
Take it away,
I've
Lisa.
I've got my 20, Danita, so I'll come get my 30 tickets here. So make sure you guys go see her in the back there and get your tickets for that. So, all right, so next is our 2022 Emerging Leader Award. So this is going to recognize an outstanding young person who's demonstrated strong leadership potential. This person under the age of 40 is employed by a chamber member organization, has worked in the local business community for at least 3 years, has been active in the community during that time, worked towards developing their leadership skills through personal or professional development. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome last year's winner, Emerging Leader of the Year, David Kent of Signet Marketing.
Thank you for that warm introduction. I do not need this, so I'll figure out how to stand here. So this past year has been one of the best years of my life. My wife and I had our 4th child, finally got a daughter. So it was a very, very good year. And second was being awarded this award last year. So I just want to tell you a brief little story about what Winchester means to me and why this community is so important to me. I grew up down in Northern Virginia, and when my parents moved out here, I had already left and joined the Marine Corps. So I left out of Vienna, Virginia, where I was born. And when I went over to Iraq and Afghanistan, we were getting care packages, and a lot of my friends never got anything, so they would get no packages. So we were out in the middle of nowhere, so for 7 months they'd get nothing. So I complained to my dad about that, and he said, we'll fix it. I can tell this community is already going to stand behind it, we'll fix it. So within a matter of a week or two, a great deal of the people that are sitting out in this room here today started sending hundreds and hundreds of care packages to myself and to people I served with. And I'm not saying anything bad about Northern Virginia, but I just don't see that happening down there like it happens out here. So that is to me what this community means to me. It continues to set the bar high for what I want to achieve and to be a leader in this community. So I want to thank all of you for continuing to set that bar high and continuing to help. So for this year's nominees, if you would please stand as I call your name. The nominees for the Emerging Leader Award are Lauren Gwynn, Katie Landy Jordan, Sergeant Chaz Nang, Corey Seymour, and Hannah Stewart. And the envelope. 2022 Emerging Leader of the Year, Katie Landy Jordan.
Oh, wow. Thanks. This is like the third time I'm crying today already. Thank you so much. I'm honored, really. You know, recently I was at Espresso Bar with someone who had never come to Winchester before, and I introduced him to Lenita, and she said, well, I know because you're here with Katie that by the time you leave, you'll want to move to Winchester. And that was probably the best compliment I ever received because I am obsessed with Winchester. I've nicknamed myself the ambassador, and I will recruit you to live here because I just love it so much. I love the arts and the architecture and the parks and the nonprofits and all of those things, and it just makes me really proud to be part of this community. And I just wanted to say that I hope that in a couple years that I can look back at this and say that this was really just me scratching the surface of the contribution that I can make to our community, because it is amazing, like everyone said before. So thank you so much.
All right, our next Holly Award is the 2022 Nonprofit of the Year. So Nonprofit of the Year Award is included for the outstanding work. It's accomplished by all those organizations who, of course, love to serve our communities here throughout the top of Virginia. So to present this year's award, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for last year's Nonprofit of the Year, Winchester Rescue Mission CEO, Brandon Thomas.
I actually wrote something this time because I knew I was going to be up here. Last year I didn't think we were going to win because we were against some incredibly worthy individuals for sure. You know, I have to tell you what this award meant to us last year. The work that we do at the Winchester Rescue Mission is incredibly difficult. We face some of the toughest and most difficult situations in our community. The number one cause of homelessness is broken relationships. And oftentimes those relationships are broken because the individuals are addicted, they're mentally ill, they are extremely difficult to deal with at times, while at the same time some of the most amazing and lovable people you'll ever meet. There are moments in what we do that it's easy to want to throw in the towel and think, does anybody care? It feels like often we're fighting policies, we're fighting substance, we're fighting sickness, and it's really tough. And so often we want to throw in the towel. In fact, you may not know this, the average individual sticks around in a nonprofit like the Rescue Mission for at most usually 18 months. But most of our staff have been with us for 3 to 5 years, and I've been the CEO for 7, which tells you not about the mission, it tells you about this community. This community has stood behind the Winchester Rescue Mission in a way that I still and blown away by every single day. We are never short on individuals coming behind us and helping us in moments when we're exhausted, hold our hands high to continue the work we're doing. And last year, standing on this stage, getting the award, felt like we can keep going. So for the nonprofit that wins it this year, let me tell you, if you're tired, if you're worried about the economic situation and all the fundraising we have to do to keep going, this community has your back. Absolutely. And so with that, let's see, where am I? I hit the button? Do I hit the button? What do I do? Okay, there we go. So with the nominees, stand as I call your name. The nominees for the Nonprofit of the Year are Literacy Volunteers, absolutely. Man, this is tough. How do you guys choose this? These are all folks we work closely with. How do you choose? All right, NW Works. I'm Just Me Movement. And Blue Ridge Hospice. All right, the envelope. Now we're going to see if my Arkansas education paid off. Literacy Volunteers of Winchester area.
Well, Brandon, we can help you with that Arkansas education. Classes starting in September. Thank you all. This is a huge honor, and despite the last time I was up here, I do have a speech, so that's a plus. The past few years have been a wild and exciting time here at Literacy. We're doing some great work that we've always done for the past almost 4 decades, but in reality, we're still a startup. Our team has under 2 years under our belt after some COVID issues, but we're stronger than ever. We have some amazing partners, and literacy is that most fundamental component in being able to understand and be understood. It's essential for individuals and families to succeed and thrive because of the support of the Chamber, this community, some amazing nonprofits we work with on a daily basis. Adults in Clark, Frederick, and the city of Winchester have greater access to the support needed to fill the gaps they've had for their lives. This last year, we expanded to help the youngest ones in our area. Through the Campaign for Grade Level Reading and Dolly Parton Imagination Library, children are able to have their own collection of books mailed to them each month. They're learning to read, and they'll start to read to learn. Quite literally, your generosity makes our work possible. On behalf of the entire Literacy Volunteers team, I'd like to thank the Chamber, the Top of Virginia community. We're deeply grateful for your help and support in this honor. I also want to congratulate all of tonight's nominees, many who we work with on a daily basis. Our fellow nonprofits, the community, the businesses in the area really help us do our job and help those in our community learn to read. Couldn't do it without my team. Pam, Amanda are here. Raina is covering classes tonight, and Jenna, our helper. The board of directors, some are here tonight, and the hundreds of others that provide guidance and support, sometimes more often than I'd like to admit. And most of all, what we do is only possible because of our dedicated volunteers. Every day, we have volunteers from this community come in and help adults. They learn to read, they learn to write, speak English, become citizens, use computers. And we couldn't do that. We couldn't pay for that. It's community members, like many of you in the room, that come in for an hour and help teach what people learn to read. My favorite story, we had a gentleman come in. He was carrying a children's book. I assumed, much like the great team from Marlowe, it was a donation. We do have them all in storage, they're counted. But instead, yeah, as Pam says finally. But he came in because he wanted to read that book to his granddaughter. He had struggled for years, gotten by, had a job, but really couldn't sit there and read a simple children's book. Let me tell you, every day he came in, he worked hard with his tutor, and he was able to read that book to his granddaughter. He was being with pride and thanking us, but really we need to thank him for the hard work. There's stories like that and so many more. Really, we couldn't do it without this community. I'm excited to see with what we can do. the community, the chamber members, and all the good we can do in the world. Thank you so much.
All right. Next award, Citizen of the Year. Now, the Citizen of the Year award dates back all the way to 1949. It's been considered the most prestigious of the Top of Virginia Regional Chamber Awards, granted to an individual who has demonstrated high ethics, integrity, leadership, creativity, and whose actions have positively impacted the local community. We've had last year's winners presenting the awards for this year. Unfortunately, last year's Citizen of the Year, Sheriff Lenny Milholland, is sad he couldn't be with us this evening. Not as sad as Charles, of course, as we've discussed earlier. So Sheriff Lenny did record this message for us.
Hi folks, my name is Sheriff Lenny Milholland, and I'm sorry that I'm not there this year. But for the past year since I was awarded the Citizen of the Year from the Top of Virginia Chamber, it's been a wonderful year. I've had a blast, but now we get to pick somebody else. And I have the honor and the privilege to do that. So, like I told you last year, it was heartfelt when I got it. So this year we have Tom Stomulus, Tina Stevens-Colbreth, Jen Shea Roop, and Dr. John LaManna. So, in my hand I have this card. And I know everybody is just counting down as to who it's going to be. And this year's winner of the Citizen of the Year is John LaManna. Dr. LaManna, I'm very proud of you. God bless you, and I hope this year is just as wonderful as it was for me. Take care and good luck.
Where's that stool?
I got you. There we go.
Yeah, that works. Thanks. Well, I'm really thankful indeed, and humble. I want to congratulate the other candidates, Jen and Tina and Tom, and all the work you did this past year. Congratulations on that. I am humble for sure, and I think mostly because as I came in the room and I looked around on a number of these people that I know and that I've worked with, is that so many people here give so much, have given so much for so long. And I want to give a shout out certainly to Cynthia and the Chamber, who bring us together, make that connection for the benefit of our region. And I want to thank you for that. I just want to say that as the years have rolled on, I've realized that more importantly than choosing the road that you travel, it's really more important to choose who you're traveling with. And I just want to recognize that. I want to recognize my wife, Annie, who we've been married for 45 years. All right, good job. All right. And my wife Rachel is my wife Rachel. My daughter Rachel is there as well. And I share with you too, I have a son, Nick, who's our oldest. And I told him, I said, Nick, it looks like Dad is going to maybe be recognized with a possible award from the Chamber on March 30th. And he said to me, I said, what are you going to do? And he said, Dad, I'm going to Disney World. And that's a fact. He's traveling right now on the way to Disney World with his family that they planned. But those connections are indeed so very important. I do want to recognize too our friends from Timberridge School. I was at Timberridge School for 45 years. We served thousands of children, and they're still continuing to do the work. In fact, if I could put a plug in, we have a career and technical building that's going to be open within the week. So we're very proud of that as well for our young men. And also, as you know, I had the opportunity to serve as interim superintendent for the schools. There was an opportunity that I had, And I want to thank, I know Ellen White is here and my good friend Mike Lake is here, who allowed me that privilege. And I realized what a fantastic educational program that we have in Frederick County, and in Winchester too. So with that, I just want to say thank you. And again, the connection that we have with each other is so important for the county. So let's keep connected. And the only thing I want to say too is I am retired now, and I asked Barry Lee for some advice. I said, you know, Barry, I'm retired, what's next? He said, grow your hair long. So I did it. So I did it.
That's funny because we know like you'll never retire from everything ever. You're gonna work, and I love it. I love it. I've got my phone ready, so you know how we do our selfies. So it is time to. We're going before you speak. We are going to take another one. So the 2022 Lifetime Community Impact Award. So this honor bestowed on an individual who's demonstrated a lifetime of high ethics and integrity, leadership traits, creativity, and whose actions have positively impacted the local community. This is only the third time in history of the Greater Good Awards that this honor has been bestowed. So last year's recipient of the Lifetime Community Impact Award, and one of my best friends ever in life, Barry Lee. Okay.
Well, since receiving this honor last year, one thing that didn't change, even though that beautiful crystal award sits right where my wife can see it in the dining room, I still have to do the dishes. So that didn't change. When I retired in 2021, I knew the time was right, but one thing that I wasn't prepared for was how much I would miss that daily interaction with the radio family, the listeners. And after retiring, as the months wore on, and I'd get emails and texts and run into people at the grocery store or at community events like this, and people loved sharing their memories, whether it was the mind bender or a birthday shout out or a school closing. And I realized, you know what? I'm not separated from them. I'm going to be with them for a long time by way of memories. And that sort of brought a peace and just a feeling of being so blessed to do what I love to do for 44 years and to make those memories. And then when this award came along, it was, I don't know, it was sort of like the chamber saying thank you for those 44 years of memories. And it actually helped give me some peace and closure, and I'll forever be grateful for that. Thank you. So, for this year's Lifetime Community Impact Award, 2 names were submitted for consideration: James R. Wilkins Jr. and Q102 broadcaster Rosie Walsh. Talk about 2 human beings that personify love of community and service to community. And of course, we were heartbroken to lose Rosie in February. And in all the award categories tonight, the selection committee, they've got a difficult decision to come up with one name when all are so deserving. The decision of the selection committee for this year's Lifetime Community Impact Award is to honor both nominees. So, James R. Wilkins Jr., if you would come forward, and accepting for Rosie and her family and her fans, her morning broadcast buddy, Chris Mitchell, please come forward.
Get one of the 2 of us. Come here. Wow. Okay, so I'll go for it. Oh, ain't this fancy? Wow, she would have loved this. Tim, here's another for you. So you've heard me talk about Rosie, and I just wanted you to know she was so proud of this community. We went to so many different things to help nonprofits and help businesses who were celebrating a moment, an opening, or a special occasion. And I would say, Rose,
I'm tired. And she would say, we can do one more, we can do one more. That's who she was. She loved the community. God bless you. Thank you so much. This means so much to me, to her, and to her family. And God bless all of you. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank Chris. To share this award with Rosie is very special to me. From my Lifetime Impact Award is a little bit different in that really my father and my son and myself all have worked together for the last 75 years. And that is why we made an impact on the community. We have 3 generations all working tirelessly in a lot of different areas. I was just looking at the program. I was president of the Chamber of Commerce 50 years ago today. So, and that starts to put a lot of things back in perspective. I want to introduce, because we are a family and we impact the community as a family, my sister Donna Downing and her husband Bruce, if you'd stand. My son Richie Wilkins. My wife Ronnie Wilkins. Mitch Moore is not part of my family, but he is always at my desk with his hand out.
Just like a good son.
We've been very active with Shenandoah University for years. My father started Shenandoah University, and I don't plan to speak a long time, but a lot of you in the room, because I was here 50 years ago, I don't know you, and I apologize. But my father, in 1926, quit high school at the age of 16 with $250 in his pocket. Went to California, took him 2 weeks to get there, lied about his age, got a job in the oil fields building heavy equipment. Fast forward, I don't want to set it for hours, past World War II, I was born in 45, he moved here in 47, opened Wilkins Shoe Center, opening shoe stores, not your get rich quick scheme. He works 7 days a week. And I say that, I mean he works 7 days a week. He never, at nighttime, he works at drafting tables. He does all his own survey work, all his own drafting work. The guy quit high school at 16. He had an architect who would sign off on his reports. He figured anything you could do, I can do. I just have to find the book that shows me how to do it. He didn't plan to start Shenandoah University. Again, the fellow quit high school. He got together with other businessmen to build the industrial park, which is where you now see Rubbermaid and many of the plants there. In the course of checking off the kind of plants and what they were bringing in, found that it didn't have any upper education here. We had Shepherd, or we had Madison State Teachers College. So I said, I'll see if I can kind of find a college for Winchester. And because he'd only been here 4 or 5 years, he happened to be president of the Chamber of Commerce. Once he found Shenandoah had gone bankrupt, he tried to raise money and move it here. He wrapped it under the Chamber of Commerce label. And there was a big billboard where the Austrian Bride Theater is, says, future home of Shenandoah College and Conservatory Music, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. And that's why this young lady gets all the recognition, and she didn't do any of the work. But fortunately, I could go on too long. My wife is already hollering for me to sit down. But really, the award is properly named as the impact. Our family, not just me, but my son, my father, our entire family, have had a lot of impact on the community. We love doing it. I wouldn't still be here doing it if it wasn't for that. But when they give you a Lifetime Achievement Award, you know you're at the end of your lifetime usually. So therefore, I'm going to shut up before I fall over. But thank you very much. Between pictures, Corey keeps going back to the bar. That's why you keep missing.